So at the beginning of the movie, we see a man sitting in his strange car. He was taking strange things in front of the children's school, and then when he saw that two children were going home alone, he started following them. Before going home, these children went to the gaming pub. These people decide to win a dairy in this gaming pub, but both the children were not getting anything, and because of this, Rabin, i.e. the younger brother, walks out of this gaming pub. And Alana, who is the elder sister, for the last time commits suicide due to her fate, and after giving the money, she starts trying to catch Daddy, but this time she decided to go home. When she went out, as soon as she saw that Kiraban was not outside, she was in panic. She started searching for him here and there. Suddenly, she heard the sound of Kiraban screaming. When she followed the voice, she became worried because a man of the same name was near her. With his hand on her mouth, he was kidnapping her and taking her somewhere. Before Alana could seek help from someone to save her, the kidnapper sees her too and forcefully grabs her and puts her in the trunk of the car while taking her down. The kidnapper had now brought the car to his house. As soon as he came home, he took Ripon out of the car and took her inside the house while Alana was in the darkness of the car. She was very scared for herself. She thrashes her hands here and there, and in the car itself, she sees something sharp with the help of which she tries to cut the tape on her hands and gets injured in this attempt, but finally she opens her hands. After opening her hands, she removes the bandage from her mouth and eyes. She had already opened the drum of the car by kicking. Now she quickly came out of here. She was about to run away from here to save her life, but then she thought of her brother. Aya, whose life was in danger inside the kidnapper's house, decides to rescue her brother too. When she goes inside, she notices that Kiran is nearby. To escape from his eyes, she goes into a cupboard where there are a lot of cockroaches. She would have screamed out of fear of them, but she overcame her fear because she did not want to spoil her plan. As soon as the man leaves the kitchen, Ilana comes out of her trance. But the very next minute the man came back to the kitchen, and to avoid him, Ilana hid behind the door. Thankfully, this time also the man did not see Ilana, because before she could see him, the bell rang at the door. Some man had come to give her a box. As soon as he came inside the house with a box, he heard that Rabin was shouting loudly in his room, so he went upstairs to check, and Ilana was also there. She also went out of hiding and started searching for her brother, but when she heard the sounds of the kidnapper coming down the stairs, she immediately hid under the dining table. Now finally, when the kidnapper moved around, she came out from under the table and went to the second floor where there were not just one but many rooms, and she was confused as she did not know in which room her brother would be imprisoned. She started checking the rooms one by one, and the scene cuts down to show that the kidnapper is cooking food. He takes the food in 2 plates and comes to give 1 plate to the upper weapon. On hearing his art, Ilana hides in a room. This room was strange. Inside it, there was blood on the floor at various places, and there was a child sleeping peacefully there, and also there was a camera installed there, seeing which Ilana understood that the kidnapper definitely used to kill children here. After coming to the roasting, as soon as Ilana sat down and looked down, she saw that there were many dead bodies of children, and she got scared. Now here Vokta, who was about to go back down, also saw the moving lights of the room, and after this, he understood that someone other than him had definitely entered his house. Hearing the call of his arrival, Ilana got scared and hides among the dead bodies, and the kidnapper started checking everything. He checked the wardrobe, clothes, and everything, and then he went to the washroom to check. While he was checking the washroom, Ilana quickly got out from under the bed and hid in the cupboard because the kidnapper had already checked the cupboard, and she knew that after coming out, he was not going to check the cupboard again. The kidnapper was feeling that maybe someone being here and feeling like this was his misconception. That is why he was not going to check the cupboard. Now Eklash takes out from below and goes to the other room with a chunk of it. Ilana also goes to the other room out of curiosity to see him where the kidnapper had mercilessly cut up the child's dead body, and he took out the child's organs and put them in a small box. He put them in the same box which a man had given him. Some time ago, that is. It clearly meant that this kidnapper extracts children's organs and sells them. Seeing this, Ilana got scared. By the time she was in a bad condition, she started crying on her own, but she kept sobbing by covering her mouth and sitting at one place, and we got to see that the man was dragging the box down the stairs. On opening the door, there was another man in front of her who had given this box to this kidnapper, and then the kidnapper handed over this box to that man. After the end of today's work, that kidnapper sleeps on the sofa, and this is the occasion. Ilana was waiting. She had kept the keys on the table at Sophie's side. Ilana secretly goes to get that drink, but accidentally she got stirred and Kidnap immediately got up. She held Lana's hand so fast as if she knew about Ilana's coming here. Ilana also quickly releases her hand with strength, and to save her life, she hides inside her house to digest the same. She gets engaged and now goes into a room, and while locking the door, she keeps many things in front of the door. Despite doing all this, Lana forgets that there is a house, so along with her, she opens it with the keys she has and comes inside the room with her head down. Ilana had already prepared herself for the door to open. As soon as Kidna comes inside after opening the door, Ilana dodges him and drops something on him and runs into the kitchen. She comes and picks up a knife from there. The kidnapper also comes behind her and picks up the knife from the kitchen itself and starts scaring her. Now he had gone back and caught Ilana before he could kill Ilana. This time too, Ilana comes out from under her arms and starts showing her the knife, and when the man tries to grab her knife from her hand, Sheena herself is flattened. His foot collides with a cabin and he falls down and becomes unconscious. Ilana goes to check him to see if he is dead, but in the next second he regains consciousness and catches Ilana as she flies. In such a situation, the knife in Ilana's hand accidentally gets stuck inside his napper's stomach and he dies on the spot. Ilana had not planned what she had done. A man had died by her hand. And all this happened by mistake. Now she was very nervous, and after a long time, she overcomes her nervousness and then washes her hands and finally reaches to save her brother. But before Ripan finds her, while checking the house, she finds many strange things like photos of many children in the cupboard, all of whom were killed by the kidnapper. Before Lana could go to Abraban's room, they see another similar thing outside the same house. The car stopped and a girl came out of it and came inside this house. As soon as she came, she started calling Tupper, but he was already dead. But how could he answer? Suddenly she heard someone shouting. These were the sounds of Reban shouting. She also went up to see and she also started scaring Reban, which clearly meant that this girl is also the partner of the kidnapper. Seeing this girl in front of him, Reban gets even more scared and he attacks her with a plate lying nearby. But this attack does not have much effect on her, as she gets used to all this and silences Reban before locking his room and comes out. And on the other side of the scene, we are shown that here Ihana has stolen a phone from their house and informed the police. She also opened the door and tried her best to take the kidnapper Kilash out so that the girl could escape. She did not see the dead body, nor did she suspect that Ilana was there. To a great extent, she was successful in her endeavor. She managed to take the kidnapper's body to the garden, after which she covered the body with leaves. But she made a mistake. Ilana forgot to take the telephone inside the house, and in the meantime, the girl came down and saw the telephone lying outside the open door, due to which she suspected that someone was definitely in their house. The kidnapper's companion gets frightened and comes inside the house and starts calling the kidnapper. It is shown here that after cleaning the kidnapper's blood, Elena was hiding inside the kitchen and was holding a knife in her hand, which was going to be useful to her in any bad time. The girl who was calling the kidnapper suddenly hears the kidnapper's phone ringing outside the house. She calls 2-3 times to confirm, but when the kidnapper does not pick up the phone, she herself goes outside to check where she finds the dead body of the kidnapper under the leaves, and seeing this, she is absolutely shocked because the kidnapper was dead and it clearly meant that the killer who killed him must be inside the house. Taking advantage of going out with the kidnapper, Ilana got up and hid in another room. That girl now comes inside the house and picks up an axe because she wants to find and kill her partner's killer. Seeing Ilana crying, the girl also came to the same room where Ilana was hiding. There was an attached room in this room and the room looked as if it belonged to this girl. After a quick check, the girl first goes to the washroom. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Ilana was about to leave from here and hide in another room, but accidentally, a suitcase fell down from her, and on hearing the noise, the girl immediately came out of the bathroom, and Ilana hid under the bat, but now the game of hide-and-seek was over because that girl saw Ilana before she caught hold of Ilana and killed her. Ilana immediately went to the washroom and locked herself, but the kidnapper's friend was also not going to leave Ilana, she was also holding it in her hand. She started breaking the door of the bathroom where on the other side she could now see Ilana. She was about to kill Ilana with her knife, but before that, Lana's luck ran out and this girl started hearing the running of police officers outside her house. Now here it was more important to handle the police than to kill Ilana, so this girl locks the room and first goes downstairs, turns on the TV's volume to full, and then opens the door for the police. The volume was full so that the sound of the police crowing could not be heard. Here even the policeman does not start the investigation as soon as he comes, but asks him to bring a glass of water. While the girl went to get water, the police officer came inside the house, and from the things scattered here, he got the idea that there is something wrong here. That is why he now takes out the gun from his pocket. Above, we see that instead of breaking the door of the room, Lana brings the room. Ilana breaks the floor and quickly jumps down. As soon as she jumps down, the policeman is also surprised to see her. Before Ilana tells him the whole story from behind, the girl turns and throws him towards her ex-policewoman, and the policeman dies on the spot. Now his next target was 100% Ilana, but Ilana pushes the girl and runs away from there. At this time, the policeman's gun is also stuck in the girl's hand, due to which she also tried to shoot Ilana several times, but Ilana avoided her every shot. Now Ilana was about to run upstairs to save herself. Seeing this, the girl also chases her but sees that on the way there is the dead body of that policeman, whom she catches by her feet and throws down. And now she was just chasing Ilana too, who had reached the floor above her. Now she picks up a vase and hits it on the head of this girl, and this girl becomes unconscious right here. This was the right opportunity to digest her brother. She quickly takes the door of her brother's room from this girl, and as soon as she leaves, opens his room and takes possession of him. Both of them were relieved to see each other alive. She wanted to take Reban away from here, but they had tied Reban securely to free him. Now, Ilhana is present in the same house and brings him back peacefully with the help of which these people used to kill the children, and by using it, she gets her brother's chain broken. Now, as soon as Ilana came out after freeing her brother, she saw that the boy was no longer there where he was lying unconscious. That is, he has regained consciousness, and she has gone into hiding to kill them by deceit. As soon as she understands this, she signals her brother to remain silent and herself. It goes towards the window because this was the path of the house. But here his brother turns water on the whole person because he saw the policeman's body on seeing him. He shouted loudly as soon as he shouted her voice, and immediately he came out to attack these people. And she was more than that of these two children, but they were more than a girl. As he is successful in getting rid of themselves and running out of the house immediately, but he gets Tank in Ilana's feet, due to which it was now fleeing before she would go out of this house to get her shoes out of this house. There was a lot of injury. It was here that a bicycle was also found on which people were about to go, but their bicycle was going to go, and both of them sat in the policeman's car to save their lives, the car of the same policeman who came here. To compress Ilana here, while using the raid of the policeman has been killed here and the girl has been seen here, she has been seen here and the girl has been seen here. It breaks its glass with Herx, and to protect herself from Islaki, Iladar's hand break behind it. The hand is back with a loud shock, and the wolf fell, taking advantage of her fall. They put the chain of bicycle and run away from here, but in the same time, that girl can also see them as she could not see them. The car was constantly doing them, but in the nighttime, his car collided with a stone, and his factor became an accident, and his cycle was also damaged here again. The children go to his bicycle to save their people and go towards the river. On foot, the night was getting enough. Now they did not see that the children were shown, and the same were shown till the morning, and the same were there. It is the girl who had found the two sisters' brothers. The two sisters were discovered in the morning. Ilana and the Serban came out of the back and started running towards their house because they would have left the chase of the girl. But this girl is now going to the part of Ilana's brother, who has come back again. She started trying to get rid of the two Shields, which is also trying to get rid of the two Shields, who started trying to get rid of the two Shields. In the girl before she came right, she used to kill any of these axes. The sound of one of these two is heard and the girl falls down, and on seeing it, the police came here at the right time that they came here at the time of night. They had taken action on the message of the policeman and reached that location. That is, she had reached the house and did not go to the house. Yelog was trying to rescue Ilana and her brother only when they were found by the police. The police had killed The girl, after which they rescue the people and her brother, and the movie just ends here.